early, bro. I know you said not early, but I know we ain't never did a chairman scream in the beginning. Championship on 3! 1, 2, 3!
Headache scream.
I know.
I didn't see it.
Let's get right into it. I got you. Say it. So look, first and foremost, before I say anything, man, let's just give a huge round of applause for Mr. Riyadh Jones. These goals in more ways than one. His relationship goals. For a lot of us, he's fashion goals. For a lot of us, he's workout goals. Right? If anybody has reached nirvana or pinnacle leadership, it is Mr. Riyadh Jones.
Yes.
Right? And, I'm going to be honest. When I first walked in this room, I thought this event was like, I'm thinking of maybe a couple hundred people, but it's well over 1,000 people in this room right now.
That's right, and it was more.
Right? So this event is huge, man. Huge shout out to him. I'm gonna go ahead and start this thing off. So I like just telling a little story when I speak, and this is a recent. I'm good. Yeah. A few days ago, excuse me, bro. Be sliding. So a few days ago, I had it was a funny day, right? It was a bunch of funny things happening to me, things that don't usually happen. And, I'm talking to one of my friends, and he says, the reason that, some of these things are happening to you, he said, we're in Mercury retrograde. And I'm breaking down all of these different things that's happening to me. I'm like, bro, I don't know what's going on, but you might be right, because some of this stuff is not adding up. And then yesterday, I get a call from David and Manita. Y'all know him?
Yeah.
I get a call from David and Manita early in the morning. I'm still in the bed. He says, this is probably the worst thing you want David to say. He says, be careful today. I said, David, what? In so many words, he said, be careful today. He said, I woke up this morning and I felt something in my spirit.
Oh my God.
I said, David, if anybody is talking about spirit, and I gotta be careful, you're the wrong person I need to hear that from.
Right.
So at that moment, I'm like, oh, it's that Mercury retrograde. So, the thing about me, I like learning new things. So I start doing my research. I start, watching videos, trying to figure out, like, what is this stuff? Like, I've never really been into the astronomy. Actually, I have. I haven't been in school for quite a while. But it's a term or a concept used in astronomy. And basically what happens during Mercury retrograde, it happens every so often, but not often at all, honestly. But this is a moment in time when us on Earth, our perspective, right? We have an optical illusion where the planets that are rotating or revolving around the Earth, it seems as if they're moving in the opposite direction, right? So for us, it's an optical illusion. It's not necessarily happening. These planets aren't moving in the opposite direction. It just seems that way. And I start Googling and start looking at other concepts, and I actually screenshotted something an astrologer said. Y'all want to hear it? Yeah. He said, expect to have more or less energy than you're used to, particularly of the nervous variety. During this time, it will either sap you of your usual zest and leave you feeling lethargic, or fill you with chaotic, scattered energy that might have you feeling restless, unfocused, and anxious. Right? According to this astrologer, how you channel said energy during Mercury retrograde is pivotal. And I said, oh my gosh, I need to focus up right now. Right? All of these different things are happening in my life, and they're saying you're supposed to feel funny, things are supposed to happen, the energy is supposed to be weird. and I'm gonna be honest, I can't speak for everybody in this room, but maybe the last few days or the last few weeks, things have been happening, maybe in your business or in your life, that you can't necessarily explain, right? And I'm not saying this because of Mercury retrograde, right? But when I look at the concept, it's an optical illusion, meaning it's not necessarily happening. That's just our perspective. So when I look at the business, when I look at life, when I look at some of the things that we go through, some of the things that we think are happening aren't necessarily happening. And during this time, the only reason that our perspective is skewed is because these planets have lapped the Earth. Meaning, they only seem to be moving in the opposite direction after they've lapped the Earth more than once. And then I think about the business. When I was doing my research, I started thinking about the business. I'm like, it's funny because one of the main problems, one of the main reasons that people that come into this business don't get to the next level is because they're too busy, right, looking at other people's results. You're too busy looking at yourself like, oh, we started the same day. But he's a platinum 2000 and I'm still a platinum 600. He lapped me. He passed me up. You start looking at other people's results, seeing where everybody else is, and it distracts you from where you could be. What I tell people, right, and what I've learned from things that I've read, just from experiences I've had, if I focus so much, right, on what somebody else has, right, or what somebody else has done, how can I be focused and grateful for what I have and what I've done? Then I'm gonna pass it on to you.
I know, I like that a lot. Can I just snap to my big brother, Mr. Bryce Thompson? He's a very intelligent man, super intelligent. I'm gonna be honest. I was talking to Mr. Thompson before this conversation was happening, and he mentioned this retrograde thing, and it's just like, wow. Because it makes a lot of sense. It makes a whole lot of sense. So once more, can we get some snaps from my brother, Mr. Bryce Thompson? Right, before I say anything, it's something I have to. I need everybody, all right? If you didn't do anything today, can you promise me to do this one thing with 100% of your energy? I need everybody here. Can we give a standing ovation for my big brother Riyadh for putting this in this room together?
Yeah.
Definitely want to pull out that same notebook that you were taking notes on with Mr. Bryce Thompson. Because I want to ping pong off of that. What's up, bro? How are you? All right. So he just provided some awareness to just a different perspective as it pertains to just how you may be feeling in your heart. And now, what if I started to identify your biggest secret, your biggest cheat code? Your biggest, the best thing you have to offer.
Oh, hold on for a minute. Come on.
How would that make you feel? How would it impact your business? How would it impact your life? How would it impact your day-to-day? The things that you're doing, the money that you're making to take profits. What if we started to pride ourselves on our biggest secret? Somebody tell me, anybody know what your biggest secret is? You know, the biggest secret is you want to know why I'm so grateful? Who's the catcher here? Me or you?
I'm done with you.
You. Right? I want you, how many of you guys have faith? You believe. This is one thing that my big brother Riyadh, I paid close attention to him early on back 2018, 2017. Because aside from David, I'm looking to identify people who are passing a message that, not to say it correlates to me, but I felt it inside. And one thing that these people made me realize at a very early point in my career is that I'm well equipped. My God has well equipped me with everything I need in order for me to gain success and the vision that I have for myself. I already have everything from within. See, some of you guys, you came here today and you may think that you needed something. And that's not necessarily wrong, because I'm a firm believer that whatever you believe in, it's going to put you in environments, it's going to put you in certain rooms, in certain conversations, where you're going to be able to expand off of already what is the best. But you need to embrace the fact that today you are already it. When we talk about progression, we talk about success, going chairman, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, it's not going to be a different person 6 months from now who actually obtains and achieves all the goals. It's going to be you, right? Mm-hmm. But you need to start to become aware of, okay, I am actually my biggest secret. I am actually my biggest cheat code. All right, and I was at the I Believe event about a month ago, and I heard David, he started to talk about just the different parts of us that we're comprised of. He said you have the mind, the body, and the spirit. And then he went on to say, he said that the Lord worked for 6 days and he rested 7. I love saying this because this really confirmed why I felt like I was always the GOAT. And I say that humbly, I'm not better than you, but I'm the GOAT, you're the GOAT, I'm the GOAT, you're the GOAT. Say it with me, I'm the GOAT.
I'm the GOAT.
I'm the GOAT.
I'm the GOAT.
Two persons to the left. I'm the GOAT, you're the GOAT.
I'm the GOAT, you're the GOAT.
Right? And you want to know why
I'm the GOAT, you're the GOAT.
And for some of us, focus. For some of us, the reason we embrace that so much is because God worked for 6 days, he rested 7. On the 7th day, he said, the word says, he said, all right, I need someone to demand this earth in my image. He said, I need someone who can maneuver like me, do the things I do, work wonders, work with the light, work with the world's wonders, kill it on earth. He said, I need someone to kill it on earth. And then he created us in his image. And you have to realize now that this is the God within inside you. There's a power inside you.
Yes.
But you have to be, not to say you have to be, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. No, but you just have to become aware of the fact that, wow, I was created in the greatest image already. And then now you also have to become aware, I feel like it's fair to say that, all right, there's a path set up for you. Understand, I am actually just a vehicle. But the GPS of where you're going is already set.
Well,
there's a reason that you're in this room today and you say, I'm prioritizing this over everything in my life to get to me where I need to go and fulfill the things I want to do in this life. Mm-hmm. It's not because of all of this money and all that. You felt like this from the day you signed up before you even heard me speak. Because your path is already set up. And you have to be grateful. You have to be grateful now knowing that, okay, my biggest secret weapon is what? Me, what's inside of me. God made it here for me. He created me in this light, me in this image. And then from there now, with that grace, with that gratitude, then you'll be able to learn so much more. See, the best trade in the room is not the best trade in the room because they're any better than us. The most profitable person, Bryce Thompson, is not any better than us because, he's Bryce Thompson. But that's what God made him to be. And you have a name. You have a name. And there's actually an extra part of the conversation now. But I want to pass it back over to my big brother Bryce before we get into that. Where is he at? I got to think of it. Where is it?
There we go. I'm back
Where's
here.
Bryce? You got to smell me.
I appreciate that. We're gonna thank you, Glow, for that.
thank you, Glow.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna piggyback because I know toward the end you were talking about gratitude, and gratitude is super important. I think a lot of us, how can we look up and thank God or thank whatever higher power you believe in for where you become if you're too busy staring at the problems right in front of you. I want everybody to understand, man, once you get to a certain place, or once you make a certain amount of money, or once you get to a certain rank, you're gonna get to a place, if you wanted a certain amount of money or you just wanted that rank, you're gonna get to a place, you're gonna get that rank, or you're gonna get that amount of money, and you're gonna still feel like, damn, it's
Not enough.
I want. It's something else that's missing. And, I look at the different levels of leadership. The first level, you talk about position leadership. It's the lowest level of leadership. The rank or the amount of money you have, that doesn't necessarily define you as a leader. But then I look at the second level of leadership, permission leadership. At the second level of leadership, this is where people most times skip over, most times ignore. But at the second level of leadership, I had to come to realize, man, after so many DMs and texts and coming to events and people asking me the same question, I get one of two of the same questions every time I come to an event. It's either how or Bryce, when you was at P2000, what did you do to hit P5? But when I look at that first question of how, I always draw back to permission leadership, right? At permission leadership, it's not about what you know. It's not about how much money you have. It's about how much you care.
You're making me
Right?
sad.
How much you love and care the people that are in your business. What I want everybody to do, especially if you have a notepad, write down 3 to 5 of the top leaders in your business. 3 to 5 of the top leaders in your business. Just think about it. You don't got a pen and paper, you don't got a phone, just think about it. Keep them in mind. 3 to 5 of the top leaders in your business. And what I want you to do, right? I want you to do like something like a check system. Ask yourself, if these 3 to 5, or one of them, 2 of them, anybody on this list of people that you're thinking about or that you wrote down, if any one of them were to leave your business today, they were to go inactive, switch companies, go to a different organization. Ask yourself, would you still have a relationship with them?
Yeah.
Could they still call you? Would you still follow them on Instagram? Would they still be on your close friends list? Think about it. If the answer is no, you can't expect for these people to be in your business even tomorrow.
Wow.
You can't buy loyalty. Loyalty is earned. You know, when I look at Trade House and
That's good.
some of the most successful organizations in this company, and I just look at the leadership, right? I don't care about no other company. I don't care about what nobody else is doing, where they got 4X, this product, that product, these. I don't care about that, because that can be duplicated. What can't be duplicated is the people. What can't be duplicated is the love, respect, and care you have for one person in your business. Can't be duplicated. So when I look at the most successful organizations, I look and I'm looking at the leadership. If Nate were to leave my business, or we weren't doing business with each other no more, we weren't making money together, that's still my brother. As much as it would hurt my pockets, right, or hurt my TV, that's still my brother. So you got to get to a place, right, with these leaders in your business. You got to understand, this is more than just building a business. When somebody leaves your business, you didn't just lose GB. You should feel like I lost a relationship.
Yeah.
Not that they can't have a relationship with you, but maybe they feel awkward or feel weird to continue to hit you up, continue to contact you. That's how I feel. Forget what it says in the back office. Those are just numbers. I lost a friend. I lost a brother, or potentially. You can love somebody without leading them, but you cannot lead somebody without loving them. You can get to chairman 10. You can get to chairman 25. Right? Y'all believe that? If you help somebody make money every single day, they'll stay with you. Y'all believe that?
Yeah.
I don't. I can't count on my hands and toes how many times somebody has came on my business, made thousands of dollars their first week.
And still love.
Still went inactive.
Yep.
I can't count on my hands and toes how many presentations I've done for people. How many times I stopped at the gas station and just do a one-on-one. How many times I took a step back from my family. Y'all ever got up from a restaurant at the table to go get on the phone? I can't count on my hands and toes how many times that's happened. And those same people still left my business. You gotta get to a place, right, where
Yeah.
I don't care about the GV as much as I care about
The
our
relationship. That's true.
If you being in my business means we have a bad relationship, I don't want you in my business anymore.
Okay.
If me going chairman 750 means that we can't be brothers, y'all can have it. I'll be P150. The thing is, the most impressive thing, right? The most impressive thing is not somebody hitting the rank, not somebody putting thousands of people in the business. The most impressive thing, this is when I'm really impressed, and this is when you should be really impressed with not only yourself but people in your business. The most impressive thing is not how much somebody can build. The most impressive thing is somebody building, losing, and being able to get it back. Now you ready?
It was a lot. I'm ready.
Let's pass it back to Nate. Let's go.
Snaps from Mr. Thompson. Can we get snaps from Mr. Thompson? That was a big one. I was getting emotional a little bit. Like, this is real life. Sometimes I want you guys to understand when you hear the family members speak, especially in these events, just gathering the facts from real life. I don't think anybody comes up here and treats this like a presentation and just talking about real life. And that was a beautiful segue for me. I want to talk about two brief things. But when Bryce talks about permission leadership, one thing that the world knows me for, the business knows me for, that is really credited to Bryce Thompson. Like, he told me these things, he really drilled these things and instilled them to me, especially at a very young age. I was a teenager, and I was hard-headed. I was like way harder than you to lead. But he never I just put these three words together because it was the way of life that he was showing me. But I want you to write this down, HGT. Humbleness, gratefulness, truthfulness. And then I want you, when you leave, go literally look at the definitions of these words. And then you want to try to consciously, this is where you're not going to act like you're pretending, but you're growing, you're evolving. So it might challenge you a little bit.
I'm sorry.
Humbleness, gratefulness, truthfulness. If you want to really know how permission leadership is granted, how it's really obtained, it's within these three words. And Mr. Thompson, every single day that he's been in his business and I've had the opportunity to be led by him, these three words are something that he carries, he speaks. I might buy him a chain. Should I buy him a chain that says HGT? Is that this?
Coffee tomorrow. We can make it.
Because I kid you not, though. I kid you not. Especially as a leader, you might be having those little interactions, those little hiccups, those little bumps in your business. It may not seem to be working right now, just because of your lack of understanding of one of these three words. And nobody's perfect. I make mistakes all the time, especially because sometimes I'm not humble. I'm 23 years old. Some of it is just it's my DNA. I grew up like this. When I practice these three words and I instill them on a day-to-day business, in this business, I kid you not, permission leadership has opened so many doors to me. I'm not the best. I am not the best. But I have a firm understanding of these three words. I consciously apply them on a day-to-day. And also now, what I'm going to talk about briefly, what I want you to truly understand as well,
so smart too, just like
is I'm maximizing my 24 hours. All right, you want to be a successful leader in this business, you want to go far, you want to obtain a lot of success, create great leaders, you have to be consciously aware of what you're doing with your 24 hours. We all have the same 24 hours, but it's spent so differently. And I'm telling you, if they were to take the data from the wealthiest people in this room, there will be similar patterns in the actions of what they're doing. There will be similar patterns of their time spent. And I don't have that much time to get into great detail, but I want to give you two things. I want to give you two things that you want to apply to your time. I write this down. Time is actually your most valuable asset. I kid you not. You hear Riyadh talking about Bryce over time, what he's been able to do. Time actually allowed for that to happen. But now, as you look at your time now, there's one of two things you can do. There's 24 slots you have in a day. Each hour is a slot. Do not forget that. Each hour is a slot. And then with each of these slots, let's go wake buddy up, he's sleeping. Because I love him, I'm gonna wake him up. Wake up, Snake the same room, this the same way in the house. I love you, you okay? Love you, boss.
Let's go.
So check this out. 24 hours, you have 24 slots. Chill, focus. Now you have one or two things you can do with this slot. You have IPA and you have BPA. IPA, what is IPA?
Income producing activity.
Beautiful. Now what is BPA? There we go, broke producing activities. All right, now if you are consciously aware of what one of the two things you can do throughout your day, and you kind of have rules to follow, then you kind of judge yourself as you're doing what you need to do. And we talk about mapping out your 24 hours and controlling your day. I want you to realize that it takes 15 minutes. Some people plan for hours so they don't get nothing done. You plan for 15 minutes, it will benefit you in years to come. But here's what you do. You have IPA, BPA. IPA, what is IPA? Inflow. You're making money. You're gaining wisdom. You're gaining knowledge. You're gaining love. Anything you do that can make you money, make you gain knowledge, gain wisdom, gain love, gain gratitude, gain awareness, that's an IPA, income producing activity. Now, BPA, on the other hand, now, outflow. You're spending money. You're losing love. You're losing gratitude. You're losing who you are. And in today's society, IPA and BPA, they're often misconstrued as one another. See, me and Bryce had to sit me down in 2018 tell me, oh, get on Zoom. You need to live, bro. You need to learn something so you can be successful. At the time, I thought it was a broke producing activity. Because who gets on Zoom? Like, why am I sitting down listening to you every single day? I'm watching how I do that. It's perceived to be corny. How many of you guys have been perceived to be corny by some of your peers when you first joined your business? It happens. But now let's say we go to the club now, and I want to go get 20 bottles, and we spend 7, 20, 10, no, but we spend thousands of dollars. And then we go out now, we can bring the best of the best people, have the most fun, post on Instagram. People are like, oh, those are some ballers over there. But in reality, it's a BPA.
That's right.
But now if you consciously are aware of the fact that, okay, throughout my day, all I'm going to, I take 15, this is me, I take 15 minutes of my day to operate from the spirit, I close my eyes and I manifest it like I'm going to live.
Wow.
Then after that, I take the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I just plan out what I'm going to do. And then I consciously make note that I'm only going to do IPAs. And you have to realize we're not perfect. We're not perfect. You are a human. You will operate from your body and mind. But if you take the time in the beginning of the day to operate from the spirit, from your greatest gift, you'll save yourself at 9 p.m. when you might get the call and, you know, you're a young black millionaire. They'll be like, yo, come here and do this. But you already set up that you're going to do IPAs for the day. This kind of makes sense?
Yes.
And now all you have to do is just do it again over time, again. And you're going to fail. It's going to be all right. But once you are constantly taking advantage of what you're doing with your time, oh my God. Millions. Back to you, Mr. Bryce Thompson. Over and out.
Everybody get a thank you glow.
Thank you.
Look, before we end, I'm gonna get a little more nitty gritty. Everybody say nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty. Look, you know, since Nate was talking about time and how you should be managing your time and you should spend 15 minutes planning. But I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm more so into getting positioned than planning. See, a lot of people, they plan, they take so much time planning, so much time thinking on how they're gonna make their first move. During that time, somebody come in and take what was supposed to be theirs. So for me, I'm more of a, let me just do it. Let me just jump in the water and then figure out how to swim. Right? Let me get in position. Let me make sure I get my position before somebody else takes it. Let me get my position and let me plan on how I'm gonna get to the next one. Here's the thing. A lot of people, not just in this business, but entrepreneurs, people in life, one of the main reasons that they don't get to the next level in the time frame that they necessarily want, they spend so much time uncertain, right? And let me tell you what they're uncertain about, especially in this business. There are a lot of people not in the business because they feel like it's too late. Watch this. There are a lot of people in this room that aren't in the business Just because you paid $235 or $325 don't mean you're in the business.
That's right.
There are a lot of people in this room that haven't really got started, haven't really got the show on the road because they're too busy thinking, I got in position too late. You know what? You know what's crazy? What if you're actually early? What if we're actually early and because you're so busy thinking that you're late, you never take advantage of actually being early? I came into this business almost 4 years ago. 4 years ago. And when I came in, there were less than 100 chairmen. Less than 100 chairmen and chairwomen. And when I came in and I saw chairman 10. You know, I saw chairman 100, I saw chairman 500, but I saw chairman 10.
Right.
And I locked in. And like Riyadh said, when I was a Platinum 5000, I was stressed out because I'm so close to what I saw in the very beginning. I didn't have one thought in my head that I was late. And maybe that's why I got to where I wanted to go. That draws me back to the first thing that we talked about. The reason that you're late, or you feel like you crossed the wave a little later than others is because you're too busy focusing on others. Just because you hit chairman 112 months doesn't mean I can't hit it in 6. I continue to warn people over and over and over and over again. Look, I came into business 4 years ago. I hit chairman 250, right? But there are people that have come in after me, years after me, and have gone chairman 100. Think about that. I came in 4 years ago. There are people that have come in years after me, years, and went chairman 100.
That's right.
You think they will focus on being late?
No, not at all.
Absolutely not. There are going to be people that are going to come and get the same subscription that you have, pay the same $235,
And take advantage of it.
pay the same $325 that you paid. They're going to come in 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, and they're going to go chairman 100. Better yet, they're going to rip the compensation plan out. Now you got to ask yourself, are you going to be a witness of that? Right? Or are you going to be one of the reasons that they're motivated to even do it? See, here's the thing. Some people look at other people's results and get discouraged. Those are losers. And then there's other people that look at other people's results and they get motivated. They get inspired. What we call those? Those are winners. Here's the thing. Look, I said complete nitty gritty. Just about 10 years ago, roughly 10 years ago, you want to know something that was introduced? Y'all want to guess what was introduced? Just about 10 years ago. It starts with a Z. Zoom, right? So obviously Zoom wasn't always around. This is what I like to ask people that's in the business now. How would you be building your business if Zoom didn't exist?
We use FaceTime.
Like, look at what you've done to get to where you are and eliminate Zoom. Would you still have the rank that's in your back office? Because that's for a lot of you, that's the only way that you host presentations. That's the only way that you talk to your team.
In person.
That's the only way you have virtuals. Now, I know we're independent and everything, but we in the room today, aren't we? Here's the thing. I was talking to somebody the other day. They said, look, what are some of the things that I need to do before the end of the year? I said, well, it's February. I say at least 200 more presentations. let's write it down. At least 200 more presentations, not Zooms, not just Zooms. That's too easy. Yeah. I'm talking about in person. Here's the thing. Me and Nate, who's gonna tell the story, but I'll kind of start it off. Look, I'll say about 2017, 2018, me and Nate, we drove to Louisiana. We drove 7 hours. 7 hours to Louisiana. I don't even remember what type of car we was driving. It was a hoopty for sure.
It was a Dodge.
Definitely not. That's too nice.
Was it the Benz?
I don't want to offend anybody in the room.
It was the Benz, I think.
It wasn't, bro. It was something terrible. We rented it. But look, here's the thing. We drove 7 hours to Louisiana. Suited and booted. Got to Louisiana. And the person that was hosting the event, they were apologizing and everything. And they looking at me like, bro,
I got a problem. I gotta give you a little back text. Cause they got it done.
all right, cool.
So, like I hear Bryce is just talking about like position, like just jump in, right? Just do it, right? I want you to write that down. He's basically saying, just do it, just do it, just do it. And this is especially at this part. This Bryce Thompson, I studied his whole life, but this part, it really molded me to become the leader I am today, because this is when he displayed humility at his finest. And I'm gonna let him continue the story, but I want you to know at this time now, Bryce Thompson now is in Chairman 10. And anybody, you kind of know your history, when Bryce hit Chairman 10, it shifted what we can do, especially at young ages. And Bryce had just hit Chairman 10. This is maybe 15 days after, a week after, and anybody hit Chairman's, when you hit Chairman 10, you know that it's that's a moment. You're not cocky, but you're just grateful, so you're moving a little different. And I asked him to come to this event. Me and Bryce Thompson, our launch and success, it showed me he's a man of a few words. I said, Bryce, can you come? He said, all right, bet, let's go. All right, but I want you to keep in mind when he tells a story about the fact that how he always just did it. And I also want you to keep in mind now that he's a six-figure earner. At the time, there was nobody else like him. And he was still humble. He said, yes, let's just do it. We drove 7 hours. We're in Louisiana. Nathan Samuel, Platinum 2000, asked Bryce Chairman 10 to come out.
Boom.
Boom.
We walk into a room, and it was crowded. No. It was literally one person in the room. And it's like, I didn't want to look at Nate, because I know he felt bad. So I just looked at my phone the whole time. And he just in my head like, bro, it was a lot of flyers, but they passed around the campus, and I remember one thing Nate asked me, he was like, so, you still want to do the presentation?
It was all time. Nobody.
I said, absolutely.
Nobody.
And I look at, I just look at the business, and when people do presentations, most of the time they're only doing the presentation to bring people into their business. But I learned the one question I will never ask again when I go to a presentation is, who is a guest? Have you ever been to a presentation I asked who's a guest and nobody raised their hand? Right? Or it's two people in there that's a guest, everybody else is already in the business. Yeah. If you haven't experienced that, trust me, you'll get there. So I started to realize, me doing presentations is not just for me to bring people into my business. That's not why I'm telling somebody to do 200 presentations before the end of the year. That's not why I'm telling y'all to do at least 200 in-person presentations before the end of the year. For one, it's to get reps. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. I heard Justin Owens say, look, if you master the presentation, that'll take your business to a place you probably didn't think it could go. So no, it's not just to bring people into my business. I need the reps to get better, to master it. Success happens when preparation meets opportunity.
That's right.
So if I have the opportunity to get in the room of 1,000 prospects, I'm gonna be prepared because I was doing reps when there was only one person in the room.
Right.
Here's the thing. Outside of reps, I've also come to realize, yeah, these people are in the business, but sometimes they need to hear the presentation again.
Facts.
So yeah, I don't care if there's no guests in the room. I'm gonna run this presentation like it's 3,000 hungry prospects with 5 ready. Because the thing is, a lot of people, they'll ask, who's the guest? Nobody will raise their hand. You know what they'll do? All right, let's team build. Let's do a training.
Yep.
No, the training,
Presentation.
a big part of the training is you presenting the business back to those people that may have not locked in on the real vision.
That's the training.
The real vision is clear. Is it clear to you?
Yes.
First of all, it's over 1,000 people in this room. I don't care how corny somebody say this business is. Is $10 million corny?
No.
I didn't think it was corny at all. There are going to be people that laugh. There are going to be people that think this is funny. It's not going to be funny when they want your money.
That's right.
So look, I'm going to present this business whether it's one person or no people in it. Because outside of it, just of me presenting it back in the room, sometimes I present this business and I resell myself. I talk about this business today and sometimes I'm just like, yo, you are crazy for not doing it.
You tired too.
So look, I know was that nitty gritty enough?
Yes.
I know we don't have a lot of time. Nate, if you want to close us out, we can come back to this stuff.
Everybody stand up.
Let's do it.
Say this with me, ready? Say this with me. We about to get out of here. Say this with me. You guys listening?
Yes.
You gotta say it with the same swagger, the same charisma, the same confidence that Mr. Samuel is going to say. All right? You ready? Follow up. Repeat after me. I will be greater.
I will be greater.
Say, now I am greater.
I am greater.
All right? Say it with me. I will be greater.
I will be greater.
Say, now I am greater.
Like I am greater.
All right? What you're doing is typically what happens in life, what happens in this business is that we think that we don't have it already. We think that we're trying to become something. You're evolving. You will grow, but you already are greater. You are great right now. You have everything you need right now. God is going to send you wisdom. He's going to send you opportunities. He's going to send you failures that are going to help you polish up what you already have right now. So we need to embrace the fact that I will be greater. Say it with me. I will be greater.
I will be greater.
Say, now I am greater.
Like I am greater.
All right, and now we're going to scream, right? How you feel about that? I mean, every single person.
Oh, let somebody else do the chairman scream. Who want to do the chairman scream?
I think we all should do it. I think we all should do it. My brother, please come join us on the stage.
Do what?
I need y'all to do it.
I need to do it right now. I'm tired.
Yo, real quick, what does chairman scream mean to y'all? People always do it. What does it mean to y'all?
It's a releasing of energy. Yeah, right? All of the negative energy, all of the beef you may have with somebody, right? All of the negative things that may be happening in your business, in your life, in your family, we're releasing it. That's good. So on the count of 3, we're going to release. 1! Oh! Hold on. Yeah, we cooking. To be honest, it seemed a little too dry. Let's redo it one more time. 1! Yes, sir. 2! This third one gotta be crazy. This third one gotta be crazy.
Listen, remember what you're screaming
Remember what you're screaming from. You're not screaming for a lifestyle leap because you already have it.
That's right.
So you're screaming from the idea that it's already yours.
Yeah.
We on our home stretch, man. We about to wrap this thing up. We got one more speaker, and you got to be out the door. So real quick, I'm excited to bring up this next person. He was the very first one. Can we quiet down, please? Can we quiet down, please? Quiet down. Just quiet down, quiet down, quiet down, quiet down. Listen, it's been a long day.
Yes.
It's been like 13 hours. I'm so grateful. Thank you for the staff, the production team that's still here. Moving and grooving. But we got one more speaker who's been here since the very beginning of what it is that we've been doing as a company, and his name is Gary Roberts.
Yes.
There you go. Mr. Rich off the net.
No, what's good, y'all? How y'all doing? Come on, man. How y'all doing, man? Turn me up, man. How y'all doing? Hold on, man. Cut this. I only got 5 minutes real quick. All right, I only got 5 minutes. How y'all feeling? Was the event lit? Is your volume gonna be up and stuck after this? Right? Yo, check this out, man. Huge congratulations, right, to Riyadh for putting together a phenomenal event. Give him a round of applause here, the city, for putting together a phenomenal event, guys, right? But not only that, give yourself a round of applause, because I know most of y'all not even from Atlanta. Y'all can't clap for yourselves out here. Hey, one thing I'm gonna tell y'all right now, when you're great and you know you're great, you gotta be the man. When you're great and you know you're great, you gotta be the main one clapping for yourself. Right?
That's right.
If you said you're great and you feel like that's facts, say facts. Right? Because that's where it starts. Every chairman that y'all seen walk this straight, they knew they was great before they hit chairman. How many of y'all feel like y'all great before the chairman comes?
Amen.
Because if you feel like you're great before the chairman comes, you're automatically going to start doing what the chairman do because you know it's already done. Right? When you see these chairmen come across the stage, you see a Bryce Thomas, you see a Nate, you see a China, you see a Rick, you see a Riyadh, you see
Yes.
a Man, you see all these phenomenal chairmen. Do you get that gut feeling inside and say, I'm better than that? Yes! Should we be honest? Okay, don't say it like that. But you know, or do you say that person's no better than me?
That person is no better than me.
You gotta switch your mindset. That person's
Just say
no
they
better
could
than
do it,
me.
I could do it.
It's so easy to sit in the back. It's so easy to sit in the middle. It's so easy to sit in the front and say, what does he have that I don't? How is he so much better than me? Why is his group moving so much faster than me? That's because you don't have the belief in yourself.
Yes.
I'm not going on long speech about belief. You guys already know the vibes, right? But you gotta understand when you're great, you're already in a position where you have no choice but to win. I feel like we're all great here. At the end of the day, we're in the middle of quarantine, we're in the middle of Corona, and we got a whole packed out event full of entrepreneurs. If you don't see that situation as great, you've already lost. Not only that, we have $1 billion company that every single one of y'all franchised me for $15.
Come on. 1641.
You
To be
deserve a
exact.
job. Right? I'll be honest with
Wait a
you. Are
minute.
you ready to great?
Right.
You got a blueprint that's created 100 millionaires. And like half of them look like you, walk like you, talk like you, from the same hoods and states as you. That's a great situation, right?
Yes.
When you get someone like Bryce Thompson, that makes her, I don't know what the hell it makes now, right? But when you get someone like Bryce Thompson come up here and say, this is exactly what I did, exactly the emotions that I went through to get the success that I had, and he didn't charge you nothing to be here, is that not a great investment?
Great. But I got
But
to
it
have
starts
84
with you
though.
knowing you got something great. It starts with you
87
knowing that you
87.
got great partnerships, great mentorship, a great platform, a great company, and none of it's capped. But you gotta believe in yourself first. You gotta believe you're great. You gotta believe you're a great speaker, a great presenter, a great trainer, a great trader. All these people y'all heard of started just like you. The only difference was when they was broke, they was still great. When I was at the pawn shop, I knew I'm coming back for a better watch. When they was taking my car away and it was getting repriced, I don't want that anyway. It ain't the Lamb or the Raven. Now that's what we got. I said, I don't want this crib because it ain't a mansion anyway. Now I don't know where I live. Hold on, y'all in your bag? If you really in your bag, stop watching what chairmen do and do this shit. Let's get it.
Let's get